This place used to torment me. 13 years ago, I dreaded waking up each and every single morning to get on the bus and to come to a place which I deemed to be a prison, because all that happened to me here was getting made fun of each and every single class for being out of shape, overweight, unattractive, and awkward. And each and every afternoon, I was giddy at the prospect of getting back on that bus so that I could go home and escape into the world of video games to play Call of Duty Zombies, Black Ops, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. I loved that because it gave me peace and comfort from a world that I thought was despicable. Now, 13 years later, this place has a completely different feel. You can see it up the hill here. That's my old middle school, Carson Middle School. And I used to hate it here, but now it's quite comforting. It's quite peaceful because I'm not the same person I was 13 years ago. I'm not the same individual who was made fun of. See, back then, I didn't know what was going on because most 13-year-olds don't. You get thrown into an environment with new people, with new rules and procedures, and all of a sudden you have hormones that are raging through your body, and you have no idea what to do with them. All of this combines into a concoction that's very difficult to manage, very difficult to understand. And as a 13-year-old, I looked at everything that was going on around me. I absorbed all of the external stimuli that was coming in. And I wrote narratives about myself that were not serving at all, that did not serve me in the slightest. They held me back for a long time. I internalized them so deeply that even once I lost weight, even once I got in better shape, even once I became a better basketball player, even once I started rapping and making decent music, even once I started getting some attention from girls that actually thought I was attractive and thought, you know what, I could date this guy. He looks like he's a decent candidate for being my boyfriend. I still had those deep-seated narratives within me because they're very deep. You think they're surface deep, and then you chip those away. And then you think they're a layer deeper, you chip those away. And then you think and you realize it's an infinite set of Russian dolls. You can always go deeper. And unless you're ruthlessly attacking these narratives that you've written, either unconsciously or consciously, they're never going to change. And they're going to continuously thwart your plans, to make you sabotage, to make you do things that you have no idea why you would do them, right? Because you're a different person now, at least on the surface. Well, that's on the surface. Or that's on layer 2 or layer 3. But what about layer 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc.? Not a different person at all. You're still the same individual. And that's why I would urge you to consider that you have a future in the past. This comes from the movie Tenet, of course. I've been obsessed with it recently because I think it's fascinating. The idea that you can go into the past and have a future there. Right at the end of the movie, if you've seen it, Neo tells the protagonist, you have a future in the past. And so the protagonist actually lives in his eyes as if he's going forward in time, when in fact he's going backward in time, objectively, or at least to the perspective that we're given. You have a future in the past as well. You have to go back into your past. You have to reconvene with the past. You have to make communion with it. You have to break bread with it. You have to speak with it. You have to talk with it. You have to make love with it. Because if you don't, it's never going to stop making your life hell. It's never going to stop making you miserable. It's a wounded animal. It's a starving beast that you've neglected into the corner. You've tied it to a pole and you're giving it pieces of bread, crumbs, maybe stale water. It can't survive off that. It doesn't want that. And unless you feed it the everlasting bread, the eternal water, the holy water, it's never going to come around. It's going to fight you because it's not inherently evil. It's just that you're deeming it as such. See, for so long, I thought that I had to get revenge on people. For so long, I thought I had to prove people wrong. I had to prove the doubters, whoever these doubters were, whoever these haters were, right? No idea who they were, but they were there. They were abstract. They were opaque, but they were in my mind, so they were real. I thought for so long I had to prove these people wrong. That I had to become fit and successful, and I had to get rich, and I had to get women, and I had to party hard and be the guy pulling up in the sports car and everything. I thought for so long that I had to do all that because if I didn't, then those people would win. Then the person I was would never get vengeance. That person would always feel slighted. But what I realized long ago, years ago, is that you don't have to do that. You have to accept that the past occurred as it did, and then and only then can you change it. And when I say change it, I'm saying you can create a different timeline where that past didn't occur in the same manner. The only way different timelines are created is through the consciousness that you have. The consciousness that I have now, if I were to meditate on the past, on a certain event that happened here at this middle school, right up there, perhaps outside, whenever I was done eating at the cafeteria, I could meditate on that event and I could imagine a different way that that event occurred. And if I were to imagine that deeply, viscerally, internalize that, and really feel it and experience it, then a new timeline is created. But you're only able to do that if you have the consciousness to be aware of that possibility and that capability within you. I've done this before. And when you do it, you realize that you can heal anything within you. You can heal any trauma within you. You can heal any bit of pain, any neglect, any hurt, any lack within you. All of it in the past, it's there to be healed. It's there to be reconciled with. It's there to be made whole. And you can branch new timelines by doing this. And that's the task that I have for you today. Because if you don't, it is going to continue to wreak havoc on you. It is going to undermine you subtly without you even noticing. And then only months and years later will you recognize its impact on you, but then it will be too late. You will have wasted valuable time that you need to be addressing these concerns. Each and every single day, you move forward with your life, doing the things that you know to be correct to move you towards the future version of yourself. That's one step. But the second step is going back into the past and realizing that you could have done things differently, that you didn't, and that's okay, that things happened for a reason, and that's okay, because they happened for that reason so that you could create the new timeline by utilizing the consciousness that that pain gave you. It's very weird, it's very esoteric, but I'll say it again. Your past happened because it was meant to bring you to this point where you would have the consciousness to then go back and address said past and create a new timeline, just like in Tenet. That's what Christopher Nolan is talking about here. And it actually works. It actually works. The movie seems abstract. It's not abstract. It's completely real. You can do it. It's absolutely real because I've done it. I've meditated on these events before, and I have quite frankly felt joy and bliss swell up within me like an oasis within my plane, within the consciousness. And it works. So I'm going to say it one more time before I go here. Your past happened for a reason. And that reason is so that you would gain the consciousness to then go back into that past. Imagine a new series of experiences. And then through that imagination, through the power of that consciousness, you would be able to change them and create a new timeline. So with that, I say God bless. Ask me any questions in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Much love, peace. This is New Da Vinci. Have a blessed day.